Hello friends and welcome in today's session. Today we are going to see your chapter number 13's last point, that is principles of prevention. Right? Now principles of prevention means what? Whenever the person get diseased, right? Then cure that disease, we are treating that disease, giving medicine, some of the things we do, right? To cure that disease, so that will come in the treatment, right? We have seen also two types of treatment, one that will reduce the symptoms of the disease and second will kill the cause of the disease, maybe the bacteria, virus, whatever is there will get killed. But in case of prevention, we will take a care that the person should not get diseased. Before the person get disease, we should take care that we should not get that disease. This is what we are learning in the principles of prevention, right? Now see here, if we see, there are three limitations of the treatment, right? Now what? The first is that when someone has a disease, their body functions are damaged and may never recover completely. Means it will be a permanent damage, right? Second is that the treatment will take time, right? So it will be a long time it will take. That means that person is there who is suffering from that disease has to take a bed rest. The person will be bedridden for some time, right? And if we can give the proper treatment, then the person will get cured. And the third is that the person suffering from an infectious disease can serve as sewers from where the infection may spread to the other people, right? So this is what the three approaches are there, limitations are there for the treatment. Now that's why, because of these three limitations, we can say that, because here this will lead to the multiplication of the above difficulties. Whenever the disease will spread, then this will be a form a difficult situation. So for that we can say that prevention of a disease is better than their cure, right? So prevention is the best. If we see, there are two ways of prevention. One is the general and the other one is a specific to each particular disease. So depend on a disease, the preventive method is specific one, particular only for that disease only. In general way of preventing infections, mostly this is related to preventing the exposure. So wherever the chances of getting infection is there, just you avoid that places, so you will not be exposed that area and you will get prevented for getting the infection. So this is what the general way of preventing, that you just avoid exposures to that disease, right? Now how it can take place? Suppose if any disease is there which is airborne, right? Means the microbes can be spread because of the air, right? Then we can prevent such airborne diseases by prevent exposure to the conditions where such crowded conditions are there, right? Prevent the exposure to the living conditions which are very crowded, right? So automatically, if we will not expose ourselves to the crowded condition, we will not get airborne diseases. Means we will prevent the disease, airborne disease, and we will be safe, right? Next one is the waterborne microbes are there. So how can we prevent ourselves from the waterborne diseases? So this we can prevent just by exposing ourselves. Prevent the exposure to the contaminated water, or just provide a safe drinking water. Just use the safe drinking water, and if the water is safe, automatically the waterborne diseases will be automatically prevented. Next one is that treating the water to kill any microbial contamination. Next thing, that whatever the water is available, that water will be treated, water treatment will be done, and whatever the microbes are there which are causing the diseases will be killed in the water treatment, and water becomes safe, then we can use it for drinking. So in this way waterborne diseases will be prevented. Next, vector-borne infections are there. Now these vector-borne infections can be prevented. How? We can provide clean environment, right? So if the environment is clean, automatically the vectors are there, they will not grow over there, and from that whatever the various diseases are spreading, this will be stopped. Take an example, mosquito. Mosquito is a vector, right? So the mosquito, if it has to be multiplied, then it need water, right? So whatever the things are there, that where the water is get accumulated, if you stop the accumulation of water in your surrounding area, mosquitoes will not breed, multiplication of the mosquitoes will not be there, and automatically vector will be in control. And if the vector is controlled, vector-borne diseases will also be in control, right? So in this way, public hygiene is the basic key to prevent the infectious diseases. Just keep our environment clean, right? Then you will not suffer from any kind of infectious disease. Now, there are some other general principles to prevent the infectious diseases. Now, which are these? Suppose if someone is suffering from a cold, right, and cough in the class, then it is likely that the children sitting around will be exposed to the infection. As this whole class is exposed to the infection, then also we can see that the next day not the whole class is suffering from a disease, right? Very few will be there which may get suffer from the disease, right? Not the all. Why this happens? Because the most important thing is the immune system. Our body has a natural immune system, and this immune system fight against the microorganism, disease causing microorganisms, right? And now in this immune system, specialized cells will be formed. These specialized cells kills the infecting microbe. The specialized cells are known as the antibodies. These antibodies kill the infecting microbe. These are called as the antigen. So antibodies kill the antigen, right? And during this, if these antibodies are stronger and killing the antigen, infecting microbes which are entered in our body, and if it is successful, then due to strong immunity, the person will not suffer from a disease. So the person will remain healthy, right? Not be infected. Now, the immune cell managed to kill off the infections long before it assumes some major proportions, right? If the number of the infecting microbes is controlled, the manifestation of disease will be minor. Yes, the infecting microbes are there. If they are in a very small in number present in the body, then manifestations of the disease, symptoms of the disease are there, that will be very minor, right? Or maybe very less. If these number of microbes are there in a large quantity, right, huge number in the body, then definitely the manifestations are there, symptoms of the diseases are there, that will be a severe, right? Now, this becoming exposed to an infected with an infectious microbe does not necessarily mean developing noticeable disease. Take an example, right? Suppose the person who is suffering from a common cold, right? Two children just exposed in the class due to a one infected child, right? Now both are exposed to that infection at the same time, right? The same number. Then also next day we can see that the one child is suffering from a common cold very severely, but the second child has infection, but very minor symptoms we can see, right? So how this difference is there? This is just because of the immunity. The child which shows the minor uh, symptoms has strong immunity, right? And the child who shows more severe symptoms of the disease has a weak immunity. Means once the microbes enter into the body, they will start to multiply. The immune system, if it is strong, they will kill and stop that microorganism from get multiplying, right? So number will be remain under control. So because of that, symptoms will be shown by the body, it will be again very minor. But suppose immune system is weak, these microorganisms number will not be kept in the control. Number will be very high, and as the number of the microbes will be increased, definitely the severity of the symptom is there will be very high. So that time we can see the more severe symptoms of the disease, right? So this is how the number of microorganisms present in the body will show you the severe symptoms in the body. So sometimes it's or we can say, from this we can say that the any person who is having the infectious microorganisms in the body will show the symptoms. Sometimes the symptoms will not be seen in the body, right? So that person will be a carrier but asymptomatic, does not show that symptoms of the disease, but the microorganisms are there in the body. So the person can transfer these microorganisms in the other places also, right? So this is what it is said that. So it is not necessary that the person will develop some noticeable disease. So one way of looking at severe infection disease is that it represents lack of success of immune system. Yes, if severe infections are there, means their immune system is not proper, very weak it is there, right? And if immune system is the good, right, then we can see that the infections severity will be less. See, if the functioning of the immune system not to be good or proper and sufficient nourishment food is not available is there, then because of that also functioning of immune system will be not good, right? Why the immune system will weak? Because of good and proper sufficient nourishment is not available, food is not available. Because of that also immune system may become weak. Second basic principle of prevention of infectious disease is that the availability of proper and sufficient food for everyone, right? So this is what the two basic principles of preventions. See ahead on the next page. Activity is given. Conduct a survey in your locality. Talk to 10 families who are well off and 10 who are very poor, right? And as the economical difference is there in both these types of the families, both set of families should have children who are below 5 years of age. This also you have to consider. Measure the height of these children. Draw a graph of the height of each child against its age for both the sets of the families. So here you have to observe that is the difference between the groups. If yes, then why, right? If there is no difference, do you think that your finding means that being well off or poor does not matter for the health? So this if you will do, definitely if families those who are poor, they may not able to provide a sufficient nutritious food for their children, and due to lack of proper nourishment, there will be effect of child's growth at that age, right? Possibility is there that you are getting a difference in the heights of that same age from the two sets of the families. Now see, there are general ways of preventing infection. Now, which are these general ways of the preventing infections? They relate to a particular property of the immune system that usually fight off microbial infections, right? Now, as we have studied, every person has a very strong immune system in the body, right? As soon as the microorganism, disease causing microorganism enters in the body, our immune system gets activated, right? Then they will just identify that microorganism, right? Then depend on that type of microorganism, they will also start to produce the antibodies against that microorganism who will kill that microorganism, right? So this process is there, it is very slow, right, in the first time whenever it happens. Now during this process, formation of the antibodies are there. During that process, one more memory cell is produced, right? Now this memory cell is there, this will remember all the things, right? The type of the microorganism which is enter in the body, and to kill that microorganism, which kind of antibodies the body is producing, way of producing the antibody. So all this information is stored in that memory cell. So this memory cell will be separate, and the next T lymphocyte and B lymphocyte cells are there. They will produce a large number of antibodies. Now these antibodies will go and kill that microorganism, right? If the immune system is strong, able to produce enough amount of antibodies before that microorganism invade your body and increase the number, then the person's body will be safe from the disease. If not, before producing enough amount of antibodies, if the microorganism get multiplied very fast and occupy, conquer the body, then the person will definitely suffer from the disease and symptoms will be seen, right? So this happens whenever any microorganisms enter in the body. But in both the case, our immune system becomes activated, right? So in general way of prevention, this is what we have utilized. Our immune system we have utilized. How? Just we are provided some of the vaccines of the particular disease, right? And that microorganism whenever enter in the body, then immune system will get activate, antibodies will be produced. But the second time, suppose first time the body is get cured, safe, now microorganisms are killed. Now suppose in future the same type of microorganism, whenever it will enter into the body, the memory cell is there, right? So the memory cell will remember that this type of microorganism earlier also has entered into the body, and that time these types of antibodies are produced, and in this way we have produced. So immediately, due to this available basic data is available, so body's work of formation of the antibodies will be very fast, right? So the second time whatever our body gives response to that particular microorganism is a very big response, right? Means in a short period of time, huge amount of antibodies will be produced, right? And due to this more amount of antibodies, microorganisms will be killed very fast, and definitely they are not able to produce any kind of disease or symptoms on the body, right? So in this way our immune system gets successful to kill the disease causing microorganism. But this happens when? Second time. First time the same process takes place, but it is slow because this is the first time, right? This is what the difference in two times. First time this process takes place but very slow, and due to slow process, possibility is that the person may get diseased, right? Let's understand this with one example. See here. Here example is given of a smallpox. If we see earlier in the world, there were days where smallpox was an epidemic disease. How we can say nowadays COVID-19 disease is there? Like that, smallpox was also epidemic disease. So it was not uncommon. Everywhere we can see the smallpox disease is spreading, right? And so many people come in contact of this disease. They are suffering from this disease. So there is a group of people who has no any afraid of getting this disease, right? They are just free of a fear of getting this disease. And who are these people? These are the people, they had once a smallpox disease, right? And they survived from that disease, and now they are fearless. Now they are ready to take care of other patients of smallpox, because they are now disease free. Now they don't have any afraid of getting this disease, right? See here, there was one group of people who did not have this fear, right? These people would provide nursing care for the victims of the smallpox. This was a group of people who had smallpox earlier and survived, right? So once they have suffered and even survived, these people were not having any fear of getting this disease once again, right? And they are providing nursing care to the all these patients, smallpox patients, right? Now why they were not having chances of getting smallpox once again? Because this is just because of their immune system, right? Very strong immune system. If you had smallpox once, there was no chance of suffering from it again. Even in your case also, must be if you had a smallpox once in your childhood, then in future or now there is no any chance of getting a smallpox. Suppose your small brother sister is there, and if they have the smallpox, right, or that viral infection, then possibility of that getting possibility of getting the same disease to you is not there, because once you had that, right? So now you are safe from that disease. Now why it is so? Because of the immune system, and I said memory cell, it is there in the body. So that reminds and gives a huge response whenever second time it enters in your body, right? And body will be protected. Same thing happens over here, right? So that's why once you suffered from the smallpox, second time you will be get prevented from its attack because of immune system. So how the immune system works, it is given in this paragraph, which I have been explained you once again. Just see here, when immune system first sees an infectious microbe, it responds against it and then remembers it specifically. So the next time that particular microbe or its close relatives, either that microbe or like that another one, enters in the body, the immune system responds with even greater vigor, and this eliminates the infection even more quickly than the first time, because second time's response is faster than the first time. And this is what the basis of the principle of vaccination, and based on this principle vaccines are come in usage, right? Now what are these vaccines? See here, immunization. The English physician named Edward Jenner, right? He has actually invented the immunization and vaccine for the cowpox. See, he realized that the milkmaids, means those who are giving the milk, right, providing the milk to the houses, who had cowpox, right, they had once cowpox, did not catch the smallpox disease this time, right, during this epidemics. The cowpox is a very mild disease, so you can easily get recovered from this disease. So Jenner tried deliberately giving cowpox to the people, right? So he just started giving the microbes to the people of what? Cowpox, because cowpox is similar to the smallpox, right? But this is the minor one, and cowpox was Cowpox was the minor one and smallpox was the deadly disease, right? So the people can easily get recovered from the cowpox, right? But he found that once the person is get recovered from the cowpox disease, then that person is not getting smallpox disease. Now he become a resistance to the smallpox disease. This is what his findings, right? And this is because of the smallpox virus is very close related to the cowpox virus. So whatever the antibodies are produced against the cowpox virus are using against the smallpox also in the body, right? So cow is nothing but a vacca in the Latin language, and from that cowpox it is used as a vaccinia, and from that the vaccine is invented. So the first vaccine against the smallpox was invented by the Edward Jenner, right? So in this way vaccine has come into our usage. As a general principle, we can, by this method, we can just make a fool to our immune system, right? We are just developing a kind of a memory for a particular infection by putting some mimics, right? Like that, microbes, or those who are halfly dead, very weak microbes, we will put into the body, right? And because of that, body thinks that bodies get attacked by these microbes, and they will activate our immune system and starting producing the antibodies. So this is what our body is prepared to fight against that particular microbe, right? So this is what we are saying, the vaccinate against a particular microbes, making a body vaccinated against a particular microbe. In this case, whenever we are providing the mimic of the disease or the microbe, then that does not cause disease to that person, right? Because these microbes are there, they are actually very weak one, right? So it will not turn into a disease. Just immune system thinking that a disease causing organism is entered and it becomes strong, but body will safe in this case. So this is what is nothing but a vaccination, or making our body immunity strong, right? Nowadays if we see the vaccination, there is a huge range of diseases which disease specific preventions are available in the form of vaccines, and these vaccines are against tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, measles, polio, and many other diseases are there, right? The public health program of the childhood is carried out of immunization for preventing the infections of the diseases of that child in a future. See, there are some of the diseases like hepatitis virus is there, which can cause jaundice, are transmitted through water. So there is a vaccine for them also. But here you remember that hepatitis A is there, hepatitis B is there. So if we are taking a vaccine for hepatitis A, this doesn't mean that hepatitis B will also be prevented. So that's why vaccines are very specific to that particular disease. And when we provide the vaccine of this particular diseases to the child, this is generally provided after 5 years. Now why? Because majority of the children, they are immune for hepatitis A, right? By the time they are of 5 years old, because they are exposed to the virus through a water, right? And that's why this vaccine is given at this age. See, one activity is given. See, one activity is given over here. Rabies virus is spread by the bite of infected dogs and other animals, right? So there are anti-rabies vaccines for both. humans as well as animals. So they will protect the humans as well as animals from the rabies disease. So activity is that find out the plan of your local authorities for the control of rabies in your neighborhood. Are these measures adequate in your locality? If not, what improvements would you suggest? Right. So below that these 5 in-text questions are there. Go through it, solve this, and complete your notes. Right. So today we have seen the preventive measures of the diseases. Right. How we can prevent the different disease, because prevention is better than a cure. So maybe the airborne diseases are there, waterborne diseases are there, vector-borne diseases are there. How we be remain safe, protected from these disease, right? How we protect ourselves from getting infection, right? And even some of the vaccines are available in the market. How it is work, right? These vaccines, how it is created, how we increase our immune system, right? Make our immune system strong against any particular disease causing microbe. So this we have seen in this point, right? If you have any doubt related to this, write in comments. If no doubt is there, complete your notes, solve this in text question, send me the pics, right? Prepare well. All the best.